What if I told you the biggest story about the US economy in 2025 is a lie? This is Kenya News Update today. The world has been obsessed with AI, convinced it was the only thing keeping America's economy from collapse. But a bombshell new report reveals the real hero was someone else entirely. And the numbers will shock you. Coming up, you'll discover the truth behind the AI hype and why the US consumer is still king. Meet Project Abide, an economic strategist at MRB Partners. On January 8, 2026, she dropped a report that changed the narrative. For months, headlines screamed about AI's trillion-dollar investments and data center booms. Economists said it was the savior of a stagnant economy, but Bide had the data. And here's the twist. The numbers told a completely different story. She found that consumption was the most crucial driver of US GDP growth in 2025, not AI. The American consumer spending their money was the real engine. AI-related capital expenditure was only the second biggest driver. But here's what nobody's talking about. The GDP value of AI is way smaller than it looks. Why? Because a lot of that high-tech equipment, the servers and chips powering the boom, are imported. And imports don't count in GDP, which only measures domestic production. Bide did the math. Without adjusting for imports, AI seemed to add around 90 basis points, or 0.9%, to real GDP growth from Q1 to Q3 2025. That's a big number. But then she made the crucial adjustment. She subtracted the real imports of computers, semiconductors, and telecom gear. And then, something shocking happened. The net contribution of AI investments shrank to between 40 and 50 basis points. That's just 20% to 25% of real GDP growth. The headline-grabbing data centers? They weren't even AI's most important GDP contribution. It was investments in software and computers. But here's the part that will blow your mind. Bide's conclusion is clear. Without the AI boom, there would have been less growth, but the economy would still have been decent, above 1.5%, because of solid personal consumption. The popular notion that the US economy would have faltered without AI is simply not true. This creates a major tension. On one side, you have massive corporate investments from giants like Meta, building 5-gigawatt data centers. On the other, you have the everyday American shopper, quietly driving the expansion. Some say this proves the economy's resilience. Others say it exposes AI as an overhyped bubble propped up by imports. But if AI isn't the sole savior, what does that mean for the Trump administration's economic strategy moving forward? The implications are huge. It means the health of the US economy in 2025 wasn't about silicon chips. It was about paychecks. It was about people buying groceries, cars, and services. The narrative was overstated. The AI boom reshaped markets and drove investment, but it didn't single-handedly save the day. So, do you think the AI economic miracle is overhyped? Or is this just a temporary blip before it truly takes over? Drop your take in the comments. Subscribe to Kenya News Update today for more breaking news that cuts through the hype.